Hey, welcome into another episode of Whoosh here with me, Louie. Today we're going to take a look at a couple of the books I picked up from Terrificon at Mohegan Sun. The con itself is more of a weekend experience, especially this year for me. So keep an eye out for a video coming soon. It's a couple of things where Rachel and I will sit down and talk about the whole weekend experience. Before we jump into the books, I do have to give a special shout out to a couple of people. Bobby from Bobby's Retro World, absolutely fantastic human being. Tim from Geek Boutique, another fantastic human being. And the books that I'm going to show you was purchased at both of their booths. So again, shout out to both of them. Shout out to Peter, who you saw me interview in the Paper Asylum video. If you haven't checked that out, go back and check that out. It'll be linked in the description below. Absolutely love Paper Asylum. He stopped by to say hi because we were helping out at the Bobby's Retro World booth for a little bit. So that was really cool. And a final shout out and to a new friend and person that was an absolute gem of a human being and made the weekend as awesome as it could have been is Otto from 3 Men in a Basement. If you haven't checked out 3 Men in a Basement, absolutely go check them out. I cannot recommend them enough. Otto was such a great person. We talked to him for almost 3 hours sitting in the Walt Simonson line, and he kept it from being a dull experience. He was an absolutely amazing person to get to meet, and somebody that I'm really glad I had the chance to talk to and get to know at the con. Like he's absolutely fantastic. I can't shout him out enough. He actually gave us Hanson tickets, so if that's something you want to hear about, the Hanson concert, definitely check out the Couple of Things episode when that drops, because we will be talking about it on there, how we went to a Comic-Con and ended up at a Hanson concert. So I cannot thank him enough for making the weekend what it was. But we're here to look at some books today, so I will stop rambling about my Terrificon weekend because, like I said, that's a whole other video. But let's go take a look at those books. Alright, so the books, right? I have 3 of them because I have so many things that I had signed, sketched, or otherwise sent off to CGC to get graded from the con that's going to be another unboxing down the line, which totally cool. I cannot wait to share those with you because the people we had a chance to meet, I'll go over in the Couple of Things episode, but not going to go into here. Here's about the books we actually walked away from Terrificon with. So we'll start off with the one we picked up from Bobby's Retro World. That is Scarlet Witch #1. Sarah Pichelli. What's significant about this book is it is the first appearance of Darcy Lewis, who in the MCU is played by Kat Dennings. And she appears in the Thor movies and in WandaVision. So really cool. Rachel happens to be a big fan of the Scarlet Witch, the Darcy Lewis character, and being able to pick up a signed copy of this with this cover, which is really great because Sarah Pichelli did the cover and the art for this. So really cool, really stoked to have this signed copy in our collection now. So yeah, that one was really cool. And shout out to Bobby's Retro World. He has a massive collection of CGC authenticated signed books. So it's really cool. And he's a good friend of mine. I help him out at the cons when I can. But he helps me out a lot too with things. So unabashedly, I will say check him out if you're ever at a con that he's at. Go stop by his booth. I love going to his booth. And I hate it at the same time because I literally always end up spending money there. But that's okay. The next up comes from Geek Boutique and Tim. Tim is awesome. I've known him less than Bobby. I met him through Bobby, but he is absolutely great. Geek Boutique has some really great things. They just opened a shop in Hudson, Mass. So if you happen to be around that area, definitely go check them out. They're worth the trip out. They have video games, comic books, trading cards, basically any geek thing you're looking for. They'll probably have it. So go give them a look. But the books that we picked up from Tim were ones that apparently both of us had been looking at and didn't mention to the other at all. And we've helped out Tim at the cons before, or like talked to Tim at cons before and stuff like that, and definitely looked around his booth and seen what he's had. And apparently both of us had our eyes on this, like I said. Rachel had her eye on one book, I had my eye on another book, and between the cons and apparently targeted Facebook advertising, so apparently my phone listens to me, I kept getting the book that I'll show you after, but Rachel apparently was getting this, which is 4-color number 331 from 1951, Dell Publishing. This is Disney's Alice in Wonderland. It's a really cool painted cover, honestly. It's front and back. I don't know if the camera is doing it justice. I will throw in some pictures to kind of show it, but it's a really, really cool book. Being from 1951 and getting a 2.5 is really good. The fact that it's non-restored, the off-white pages doesn't surprise me. But overall, like, it's in pretty great shape for being such an old book. The fact that there's still staples in it kind of amazes me, honestly. Like, that's fantastic. The fact that the picture is as clear as it is another mind-blowing thing to me. Like, I think it looks fantastic, and Rachel is trying to collect as many Disney comic books as she can. So, she's a huge Disney person, and that was a really cool thing to add. Apparently, she had seen it at Tim's. I hadn't noticed it, but what can you do? The other one that we ended up picking up is, anyone watching this likely knows the difference between the CGC labels, but if you don't know, CGC grades books not only for the condition of the book, but whether it's complete, so the wholeness of the book, or the completeness of the book, or whether things have been restored or changed or whatnot. So if for some reason you get something signed, you see the yellow label that we saw with the Scarlet Witch #1. If it's a normal graded book, it's got the blue label that we've seen with CGC before. If it's missing something, like a value stamp or an insert or something that's supposed to be in there, like tattoos for the first appearance of the Hobgoblin, those type of things get marked with a green label, because outside of that one missing thing, the book could be a 9.8, or this is what the grade would be if it was in there, but because it's not in there, it's only this. The last one happens to be, I feel like, the one that gets looked at the harshest, although anything other than a yellow or a blue tends to get knocked no matter what. But there's the purple label for restored books. Restored could be anything from a slight color touch to full trimming, or replacing the staples, putting on a fake cover, something along those lines. But nothing kills the value of a big book more than going from something that's looked at as being a high grade, untouched book to then being restored. That tends to devalue the book significantly. However, if you're like me and you like the idea of the book and you don't care, you end up getting this book, which is Avengers number 43 from August 1967. It's the first appearance of Red Guardian, so he's on the cover here. It's great. I love it. There's Hercules down here, Hawkeye over here, all the Avengers up at the top. Like, I love it. I love Red Guardian and the Thunderbolts in the Black Widow movie. I think he's fantastic. He's one of my favorite characters, and I had seen Tim have this book, I don't know how many different cons already, and I checked it out every time, and I was like, you know what? I went to his booth to start off the show, and I went, if you still have that at the end of the show, I'm probably going to buy it. Turns out, end of the show, still had it, still had the Alice in Wonderland, so we bought both of them. I will say something about Red Guardian that I forgot, is that in the comic books, he's actually Natasha's ex-husband. In the movie, he's her adopted dad, so it's a completely different relationship, but I just thought it was so cool to be able to see it and pick it up. And I know that it's restored, but I don't have any Silver Age Avengers, or I didn't until this one. So now I have a Silver Age Avengers in my collection, and I'm trying to slowly transition away from, I think, key books, which I think are still great. I'm still going to try to collect a key every now and then, but to transition into books that are more meaningful in other ways. So I showed off the Venom #1 that has a sketch from Donny Cates on it, or the New Mutants '98 facsimile with the Deadpool from Fabian Nicieza. So I think I'm getting more into that, but I still like a good key every now and then. That's a reasonable priced key, And to pick it up, even with the restored label, doesn't bother me. Like, it says it's a C1 restoration, which I think is more amateurish. So, could have been a kid just coloring something in with a crayon or a marker. I don't know. But it doesn't bother me that that's all it was. So, those are the 3 big books, or not even big, the 3 books I picked up at Terrificon. And I didn't have to go crazy and spend a bunch of money on them. They're reasonable. They are pretty cool, pretty awesome, and great additions to the collection. But keep an eye out. We'll have that couple of things episode up for the full review of Terrificon shortly. And yeah, we'll catch you here next time.